All right, what's going on, folks? So I tried to do a video on the 10th of April, and the server kept kicking me out. So I'm gonna have to do a pre-recorded, so you guys may not see this till a few days from now. In any case, the title of the video, and I'm gonna repeat it here, is "The Plan Is Not Working." And what we were talking about in the live stream before it cratered was the fact that the government is now reporting that inflation is starting to turn the wrong way. They're also adding that even though they added jobs, when you break it down, you've added a lot of part-time jobs and gigs and not actual full-time jobs that people can make a living on. So now instead of Joe or Jane having a 8 to 5, 40-hour week job, they have 3 15-hour jobs, and they're trying to cobble together all that revenue to make a living, which is a terrible way for folks to function. It is what it is. So also, gold is taking off in its value. It went down today, but it's been going up significantly. And silver has increased in the last 2 months almost 30%, because I bought silver at the very beginning of 2024 at about 22 bucks silver plus markup for the dealer, and now the market price is almost 28, and that's in less than 8 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. That's a big increase. It doesn't sound like much. It's like, oh, it only went up $5 or $7, but when you take it as a percentage, that's a large number. And if everything went up that amount, which a lot of things have, that would be very painful. So precious metals are going up, which means people are buying them as a hedge against inflation and other financial issues. So what do? I mean, and this is barring Russia hacks us, we get in a shooting war with China, more elaborate shit, terrorist attacks. How do we manage this kind of inflationary situation? In my book, Defensive Preparedness, I talk about one of the definitions of defensive preparedness is being prepared during hard economic times. And I actually break it down in the book. I won't go into it right now, but that is one of the premises, is understanding how to maneuver in this kind of environment. Now, you have a lot of creators go, grow your own food, right? If you're not growing your own food, you're not a prepper. I think that's bullshit. Not everyone can grow their own food. Some people live in houses, some people in subdivisions. You can't really grow much. Some live in apartments. Some folks are on fixed income because they're disabled or they're retired or they're a veteran. Not everyone can do it. Not can you or should you if you have the assets, the land, the space, and the time? Absolutely, it's not a bad idea. But people acting like that on the net, I'm not a fan of. So what do we do? Well, diversify. And I was getting into this when the original live stream crashed. Have cash, if you can afford precious metals, great. Doesn't have to be bullion like coins. It could be jewelry. It could be other types of assets. That's okay. Upgrade your skill set. If you're an electrician, if you're a plumber, if you're a carpenter, if you can repair clothes, whatever, or you're good with computers, whatever your skill is, you could create a side hustle, bring in some extra revenue, especially if it's on the down low, in quantities the IRS doesn't care about, right? For all the threats they make, the IRS could give a shit if you paid your 20 or 30% tax on $1,000 over the year. That's not a lot. They're after people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars and don't pay any taxes. That's who they're really after. And also the House of Representatives have done a good job of whacking the ATF and IRS on the head repeatedly, so that's a good thing. But diversify your skill set. Also, start thinking differently. We know that cattle, chickens have been affected by bird flu, by weather, by fires, etc., climate change. Although climates do change, I'm not denying that there is a climate change that occurs over time. Climates always change. Like the Earth, let's put it this way. I'm on a 3,000 foot high plateau in the middle of Texas, West Texas, which a million years ago was actually an inland ocean. This area was covered in water, and the ground was 2,000 foot further down. It got pushed up over 500,000 years. So yeah, the climate change, the earth changes, shit changes, right? We're not going to keep it the same. But barring that, those aside from the reasons, the beef, the chicken, and hence milk, eggs, leather, those kind of things will go up in price because there's pressure on those products. The same token, international trade is being disrupted by issues with the Houthis, by the Suez Canal, as well as the issues in Ukraine and Russia. And now we've got Israel and Hamas, and there's a lot of instability. China's poking people with a stick. Certain things that come overseas, the prices will go up. I've said it before, if you're in an inflationary environment, eat tomorrow on today's pricing, eat today on yesterday's pricing, right? If the pricing is going up, and it'll be going up for the foreseeable future, say the next year or two, now's a good time to get that bull chicken separated. If you can can it, can it. If you can freeze dry it, freeze dry it. If you have to cook it or freeze it or food savor it, whatever it is you're doing with the chicken, the eggs, the beef, or even veggies, do that. Now again, growing your own, not a bad idea, but not everyone can do it. Again, I'm not knocking it as a good idea. I'm just knocking the fact that some people have the audacity to say, well, if you don't do exactly what I do, you're lesser. To hell with that. Okay? That just stinks. You know, not everyone can afford everything. Not everyone wants to afford everything. Not everyone has the time, even if you have the money. So I don't judge. What I will tell you is do the maximum you can and get the most value for your dollar, your time, and your space that you can get. I cover that in my book as well. That, you know, time, space, and money are all resources that you need to conserve. In any case, folks, those are the steps you need to take. Start upgrading your storage. Start diversifying what you have, whether it's goods, whether it's pantry items, silver, gold, cash, however you do it. Have a little bit of everything. And at the end of the day, if you give yourself extra options, if the economy really tanks, or if it gets good, right? If it goes the other way, you now have that cash, you have that silver, whatever it is you have, you can now use it in another way and maybe buy something that will go up in value and you can sell it later. You guys get what I mean. In any case, folks, plan out your stuff. We are preparedness, folks. We are looking at what's going on and trying to kind of estimate and extrapolate what's going to happen 6 months from now, a year from now, right? Barring a black swan event, we're ahead of the curve of everyone else. So start taking your actions now and don't do it in a panic, calm, deliberate, thought out process. In any case, that's it for this one. God bless, Godspeed. I will see you on my next video. You guys take care out there.